Morning Derek, morning Stuart, morning Pete. I'm here. I was hiding in the shrubbery. Hello, what's going on? Something along the top there just went along the line of my studio thing. Got green lights, fingers crossed, all that sort of stuff. Now, what's going to happen today? Who knows? I sometimes stand in wonder. Hi Rob. Mark. Morning Tony. Morning Jennifer. Morning Roger. Morning, morning. Good morning, good morning. Another Saturday. Don't time fly when you're having fun. Morning B. I'm fishing around in my pockets, make sure I've got everything. I'm going to try and do things properly for a change. Morning Barry. Morning James. Yeah, there'll be no need for flying jackets and goggles today. We're going to turn something that's about an inch long. Inch by an inch. Morning Leslie. Keep it safe. Keep it simple. After last week's debacle. Yes, Derek's not the only thing that flies in my workshop. Good morning, Michael. How the devil is one? Your second coffee, I'm on about my 6 mark. Morning, Clive. Happy Saturday. Morning Mick. Oh, morning Mike Walt. Morning Fred. Last Saturday of September. Oh dear. Morning Colin. Morning Grant. Last Saturday of September. I never thought of it like that. Hold on. Someone texting me with questions. They can wait till later, I'm afraid. Don't they realise it's Saturday and it's nearly 10 o'clock? Morning Martin. Morning Tony. Morning Kim. Morning Anne. Mike, are you demonstrating Sunday evening? I never saw a post. If you are, let everybody know. Morning, Robert. Morning, Paul. Morning, Mick. Oh, reprieve for everybody. Mike Walt's not demonstrating this Sunday. You can all watch EastEnders or Coronation Street or something. Morning, Steve. Only joking, Mike. You know that. Still got me hat. I might be wearing that soon. It is getting colder, isn't it? Oh, your tea in your new mug, Paul. Oh, Jennifer, that's not fair, is it? Send Mark to Coventry. Evening, Bob. Morning, Miss T. Morning, Mark. Morning, Ivor. I hope I'm getting everybody as they turn up. Lucky the cat's turned up. The little terrorist. Call her the terrorist. We've got a few minutes before we start. Morning, Elena. Morning, Wivey. What have I forgot today? Got no wood turning tools. Hooray! Morning, Andrew. Did I miss Andrew? No, there'll be no dancing live today, Steve. No, that was stupid. Morning, John. We will explain that in a minute. Morning, James. Another fun morning. See what we can cover in paint today. Yeah, I never, when I'm watching these, Rob, I never write all the names. I say good morning or good evening or hello, and that's it. The wee cat. Yeah, it is a wee cat. Can't wee anymore because I sweep up as soon as I've finished. It's not cat's fault, is it, if you leave shavings down, I suppose? You've come to watch the dancing, yeah. Strictly's back. Or coming back. I could do that, couldn't I? Top Hat and Towels wood turning. Morning, Steve. Morning, Woody. Turning a top hat. Well, we'd have to turn the top hat first. That could be a little project, couldn't it? If I could find some big bit of wet wood. Morning, Brian. A lot of good mornings, isn't there? Morning, morning, morning. I leave these things up so anybody that comes in to watch them sort of a week later must get bored after about 10 minutes. Morning, 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 morning. I suppose they could scan over it. Wrong countdown for another fun Saturday morning. Morning, Nick. We're nearly ready to go. The official start is looming. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you, Jennifer, for hitting the like button. Ah, Mr. Clark, good morning. Watch out, Michael. Clark is about. Morning, Andrew. Morning, Hans. Morning, Morley. Now, this is where it gets difficult. Morning, Wayne. How are you, mate? There's more people joined in. Michael, I don't think so. You ain't seen me strictly ballroom dancing. The old text starts flying out a bit quick. So, what is it? It is Saturday morning. It is 10 o'clock and I'm back. So, firstly, I'm going to start with an apology. Last week was wrong. I turned the lathe up in my attempt for a bit of humour to throw paint across the workshop. The paint should have been a bit thinner, and because it was a bit thick, I thought I'll just turn the speed up. And I didn't. Morning, Trevor. I didn't do it controlled. I just whacked the dial round full tilt. Because there was a few flaws in the timber, suddenly we had a flying blank across the room, and that ain't good. In all seriousness, that was lucky. Lucky it didn't smash something. Lucky it didn't hit me. Lucky. I do stand out the way when I do that sort of stuff. But so I took the video down. Now I've taken the video down purely from a point of safety. Please don't attempt that. I thought about it. I'm worried about it for the rest of the day. In all seriousness, it was too quick. Floor in the wood. We got a flying blank. So that's that. Morning, Em. How you doing? So, what we're going to do, good morning to everybody. Anybody I've missed, good morning. So, what I'm going to do is be mindful of my playfulness to entertain and try and eliminate anything that's highly dangerous. That means I've got to leave now because I'm highly dangerous. Morning, Paul. So, what we're going to do today is we have got this. It's a 6 by 6 by 12 spindle blank. I had a big block of wood. I cut it up. Now, we have got a couple of little problems. There's a crack coming down here, which I think will turn away, but what we're going to do with this, I can glue it up as we go, so I'll keep an eye on it. Now, if I switch the overhead camera, if I push the right button, that is, wow, look at that, overhead, he's almost professional. And we're going to mark off the centres, so all I'm going to do is use a ruler going corner to corner. And there, corner to corner. So I know where my centres are. And use my centre punch, put myself in a little mark. Same on the other end. Corner to corner. Corner to corner. Put that back. Come down there. Centre punch. Move me blank out the way because I want to make sure my headstock's lined up because we're going between centres and it's not quite. So I lock off my towel stock, unlock my headstock, wobble it around, then lock it down and make sure there's no gaps here. Just in this bit here, no gaps. Now we're lined up. Now what I'm going to do today is use big stabs. I've got a big 1.25" stab at one end, and I think, I don't know what I've done with it. Hold on. Hold on. I've got a big 1.25" live, but I can't see it, so I'll use a 7/8 live stab in this end. It won't matter, it'll be fine. he says it will be fine. So, the way I'm going to mount this blank is the end with less splits in it at the tailstock end, because that's where I'm going to cut my spigot. And I just put the point of the stem into the punctured mark, lock off the tailstock and wind this in so the point picks up on the other one. So we're now trapped between centres. You won't see this on camera, but I use the knockout bar, bang it through the headstock, bump, bump, to knock the drive stem into the wood a bit further. Couple of sharp taps, another half a turn on there, and then we should be secure. Now I can test the blank by holding on to the spindle and just rocking the blank and making sure she's trapped in there. Bring me tool rest along. That there. Bring it out. Somewhere there. Get that between. How lucky is that? Look, the tool rest is slightly longer than the piece of wood, if by magic. Right, so now I lock that down and make sure she's locked down nice and firm. So far, so good. Because there's going to be some chips flying around, I am going to wear my face shield, so you won't see that. Face shield on. I'm standing out. Oh, I'll put that up. It's easier for you to hear. I'm standing that away, turn the lathe on and slowly advance the speed. Now I'm not going to go too mad here because I know I've got a couple of little cracks in there. So I'm just spinning at around about 500 RPM. There. And then what I'm going to use is my spindle roughing gouge to bring this to round, okay? This corner's going to come off, so I've got to listen out for that because that's just a little crack on the corner. There. So, but that's not a spindle roughing gouge. This is a spindle roughing gouge. Look at that bad boy. So let's use a big spindle roughing gouge. Really don't make any little difference. So we turn the speed on. Tools in my side. Slide my handle up. Just lift the handle a little bit. Now can you hear that? Clack, 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 clack. That's that piece of wood there that's loose. And it's not loose enough for me to peel it off at the moment. But that's what made that sound. That's why I've got my shield on. Right, just travelling along the wood, backwards and forwards. We'll stop that there. That bit flicked out there, and I'll break that off so the other bit don't flick out at me. Now while I've stopped the lathe, I'll just bring the tool rest a bit closer. Check the integrity of the rest of it. Now that crack goes down a fair way there. That will come out in our turning of round. And I'm just travelling up and down, tools in my side. Now that went donk. Bit more of that's fractured out, and the tool rest just moved a tad as I did that, so there. Just increasing the speed a little bit to about 650. I'm not pushing the tool into the wood. Handle's quite low beside me. Nothing quite like this, bringing a piece of wood to round. I'll stop the lathe there because we're now getting a gap, and rule of thumb is you don't want to be getting your finger, I wish this face shield to stand up. Don't want to be getting your finger between the wood and the workpiece. So you keep your tool rest as close as possible, and now we'll proceed with bringing it around some more. I'm just checking this crack here as well while I've stopped. That disappears into the wood about there, so that should be alright. We've got another one down here, it's a bit of a split, that's going to be a nuisance, but for what we're going to do, we'll get rid of that later. So I'll advance the speed a little bit more. No lathe dancing, sort of 700. Now as I'm peeling these shavings off and we've got rid of the corners and we're coming a bit rounder, I can lift my handle of my tool just fractionally more to cut a little bit more. You don't want to do that when you're starting out, you keep it low, but it's still low to my body. So I'm presenting the tool something like this, and the raise of the handle is that much. You can hardly see that on the camera, that's how much it is. Speed back on. Now all I'm doing is roughing, so I'm moving the tool faster than the wood's actually travelling over the cutting edge. I'm not trying to get a good finish, I'm just trying to get this wood away so we're round. So we're nearly round now. There's a little flat there, bit of a flat there, bit of a flat there. So we're nearly round. So another minute and we'll be round. Just wick the speed up a little bit more to about 800 now. Tad more on the flat spots. Little bit there. So that's close enough. We're round. Now, just as a matter of fact, we can get quite a good finishing cut off of a spindle roughing gouge. What I'm going to do, I'll just demonstrate that for you. So I'm going to come in more on the side bevel here, and then I'll lean my handle with my body away from the lathe just a tad, pick up the cut, and then I'll push cut it down the wood like this. And that should give us a smooth planing cut. So side bevel, handle away from the lathe. Now I am travelling more at the speed of the lathe. Keep the bevel in contact with the wood. And you see the shadings have changed now. I'm running out of distance, so I'll just bring that back. And there you should be able to see a nice smooth surface. So you can do a planing cut with this. Oh, that nasty knot. Didn't want that there. Oh well. So that's a planing cut with a spindle roughing gouge. So let's get rid of the bad boy. We don't need that. So we're going to square up the end. Ready to put a spigot on. So just bring the tool rest round here, like so. Oh, let's come over to a end on camera. So I brought the tool rest round at a right angle like so, and I'm just going to come in here with a bowl gouge. Not that bowl gouge, this bowl gouge. And I'm just going to clean this face off. Raise the handle as I go. just stop a bit short of my step so I don't damage the cutting edge on my tool. So I've just squared this off. So we're going to use, because there's quite a lot of wood sticking out of the end of the jaw, we're going to use this big old chuck here. This is a superposition. They're quite an old chuck, Axminster type thing. Nice and heavy, and because I'm going to be hanging off of a spigot. So with the jaws done up, and Mike did a little demo last Sunday on mounting and fixing and explaining what it was, which was quite a good idea. The jaws make a circle when they're done right up. Well, ish. So what we're going to do is leave it. If I measure this across here, somewhere there. If I get that there, I'm about to drop my jaws. So that is about 83 mil. So I'm just going to increase it a little bit to about 86 mil. So that there's just a slight gap, cut the mil, 3 mil, in between each jaw set. So I can see down the side, and I'm still keeping a circle so I get maximum grip. So we're going to do that. If you had two of these, you could weight train like this every morning. So while you're standing at your lathe, do your curls, keep yourself fit. I could do that, couldn't I? Next Saturday we're going to have a exercise video. Right, so left hand fork scribes the line, right hand fork is our visual indicator. I'll start scribing a little bit more, that there. So I push it in there. And that's our line for our spigot. I'll put a pencil on it so you can see it. There. That's our spigot line. So I'm just going to take a bit of waste wood. Now what we want to know is the depth of the jaws. They're deep. That's what they are. Deep jaws. So I'm going to use my vernier for that. Come down. Oh. All fingers and thumbs. Keep moving. There. So they are... Need my glasses. About 16 mil deep. So I want my spigot to be just under 15. The reason I do that is because I've got a little raise where the centre is, and I don't want that sitting against the jaws and pushing my wood out of the chuck. So I know that I'm about 15 mil, and if you're not sure you can use a pencil, mark a line just a little bit, shade over that. You could mark a line and then you know where you're cutting to. You should see that that's on the pencil line. If I come back to the overhead, so you should see somewhere there, pencil line, tip of that is just on it. That's the right depth. That's what we're aiming for. So if you're not sure, make a mark and then spin the lathe up and hold your pencil to it so I can see that line. I can hold my pencil to it, and then I know what depth I'm running at for my spigot. And then if I double check that, I take the pencil away, take it down to that pencil line, and I'm right. I should see the pencil. So I'm just going to take the waste away with a bowl gouge in so I get close. The overhead, let's come back on the side. So I'm just coming in like this, pick the cut up, raise the handle as I go. Bring it up close to the pencil line. one. There, and if we come back to the overhead, you should just see the pencil line there where my thumbnail is. So we're at the right depth. So I just bring my tool rest round a bit at an angle like this. Make sure it's not fouling on anything. It's on centre, just above centre, because as we know by now, I cut my spigots with a skew. So I'm going to come in, just come back to that one. I'm going to come in here like a peeling cut and just lift it in up to the line. So I'll break that down a bit. There. Raise the handle. Push in as I raise. There's my pencil line. Now what I do there is I just come along with the tip and make sure that this surface here is flat. So I'm just coming in now an angle back to the overhead, an angle like this, so I've got a square because the jaws are straight, they're gripper jaws, so I just want to straighten off this spigot, so it's one solid piece rather than all ridged. And that should be me spigot. Now what I'll do is I'll double check, because where it's important is here, that's square. Okay, that needs to be square so that the jaws have got something solid to sit against and they can't rock around. Now I think that's about it. So I can test it. By removing my tailstock, putting me blank on me bed, pa-ching. Open my jaws up a bit on the old chuck. And then that will drop down. The weight of the chuck will hold it down. And I can pinch it up. And then I can look. And I can see that I've got just a little gap there. And I can see down and make sure she's sitting there. I've got about a mil of play, mil and a half of play at the back of the jaw, so I'm not fouling up. And I can see the jaws are sitting down quite tightly against that face. Now, what I have noticed is I've got a shaving under my jaw. That's better. If I pinch that up and then double check it, it's clean. The face of the jaws are tight against the blank all the way round. So if I pull my tailstock out of the way, and then knock out my old drive there, I can wind me chuck onto the lathe and then tighten it up. Chuck on, chuck off. Bit like Karate Kid, isn't it? Chuck on, chuck off. Right, so let me just lock that chuck onto the lathe. There. find me chucky that I safely put down. Just make sure that she's on the spindle okay. Get a little tap and then tighten this up. Double check this. It's tight. There's a burr on me chuck and it's sticking in the socket. Right. So that's nice and tight. Because I'm going to bring my tailstock back up. We're a tad out here for some reason. Yeah, I can see by putting the centre in there we're a tad out. It's not the end of the world because I'm going to shape it anyway. So I turn the speed down, stand out the way, turn it back up, and you can see we're a tad out on this end. So not going to worry about it too much. I know I'm secure in there because I'm going to shape this anyway. Let's bring this back. Right, so this bit is going to be wastewood here. So I've got somewhere to part off. This knot might cause me a problem. So my wastewood might even come to there. But I'm hoping it'll be about there and this will be out of the way. I've got this crack here, which we'll deal with later. And what I want to do, for design point of view, is break this into sort of thirds. So I've got there, if I get rid of that knot, I've got sort of 10 inches. If I go full length, I've got 12 inches. I've got to have a bit of waist, so I'm 11 inches. So I'm going to go 3.5 inches roughly from the end. 3.5 is 11.5, and that's roughly what I've got. So 3.5 from the end, somewhere around there is the visual mark. I might even go a little bit over to 4. Between a third and 40%, you'll get a nice sort of curve. So for the visual effect for you guys, I'll put a pencil line in there. This is our waist. There, dead area. We're going to get rid of that. That's purely for parting off later on. So now I'm just going to use a bowl gouge to put some shape into the wood and just bring this into a bit truer. Now if I get rid of my face shield, hopefully I'll be a bit clearer. I'll just stick on my safety glasses. There. Okay. So we turn the speed up just a little bit. Let me just, we're about 500. I just want to get this a bit more balanced. There. So now I'm going to put some shape in. So I'm rubbing the back of my bevel, raising my handle, and just twisting myself towards the lathe. I'm just at this moment in time ripping a bit of wood away. Not too worried about the finish here. And to get this curve, as I'm going in, I'm twisting my right hip into the lathe and raising my handle. Want a bit more of a curve there. So it's going to be somewhere here. move my tool rest up, flick the handle the other way out of the way, turn the speed up a little bit. We're running at about 700. And I'm just getting a shape into this top. I can push it round. Something's making a clicking noise. I don't know if you heard that. I just want to make sure nothing's come loose. Not sure about that, but everything's secure. Right, it's only rough at the moment. That gives me a sort of curve coming in from my line. And I'm going to work on this end. Make sure she spins okay. And I'm going to put a curve into here. I'll just come back a step at a time. And now I'm twisting away from the lathe and lifting my handle. Just checking my wood to make sure this crack disappears here, so that'll be alright for us. We can glue that up in a bit. Come back another step. Now you can hear this cut's a bit crunchy because we're just getting rid of wood. The waste wood I can turn away. And now I can start working in to give myself a bit of clearance. There. Now, are we all right so far? Let me just scan back over the chat, make sure we're all right. This is where Zoom is better. People can talk and you can hear them. How rude. Busy. Shell for a gun. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, you got no vision. Battery operated appliance. 16-inch shell. World War II. I gotcha. Right, yep, I got you all. I can see where you're coming from. Well, I think it looks a bit more like Thunderbirds. It's going to be a Thunderbirds rocket. It's not, but it looks like that. Okay, I'll go back to doing this as you're being so rude. So rude indeed. And I'll come back here. Somewhere there. Couple more. There. And now I just get a blend to blend in this curve that's going that way to the curve that's going that way. Feed the tool through my hand. I'll come back this way. Back that way. And you can see the cut changed more there. Instead of ripping away, it became a chunk smoother. And the reason it became a chunk smoother is instead of pushing away with the tip, I started cutting just under the tip here and slicing. So then I started getting my pigtail shavings because I want a finishing cut. And you can see now it's a much smoother finish on here. So I'll come back. We're only spinning at 700. You know, people say you've got to spin fast to get a finish. You haven't. You've just got to move the tool more in keeping with the speed the wood is coming over the cutting edge. Nice and gently. There. So now I'm going to work back the other way. And blend this curve in to here. Now I'm just looking over here at the horizon. I look here on this back side, and that gives me a visual line as to what I'm doing. All slow raise, slow movement. I'm going to lose this cut about here because I want to come back here. This is flat here where it's curved there, so I'm just picking up, rub the bevel, angle towards me a little bit, pick the cut up, and then slowly twist away while I'm raising the handle. I'm going to lose the cut about there. And that doesn't look too sad. A little bit high there. Just another cut into there, I think. I want this to flow. There's nothing much in it, just a tad. So, very fine cut. Bit more lift at the end, so this is going to come off. Don't forget this bit's coming off. I just want to, what will be the base, tuck that under a little bit. I can get rid of a bit of this waste. As I come in there, I just roll the gouge over. That's the beauty of the long grind. So I sort of scrape away the bit that's in the way. There, quite pleased with that. And then, that's a little bump there. I'll just iron that out. Now, technically, I've cut this way. So I'm cutting down through the fibres, and the fibres behind are longer as I come in. So then I don't get my torn grain. Although I think you can go the other way, you wouldn't get your torn grain. But that's a debate. So then I'm just going to pick this one up real lightly. And blend that curve there. Okay. That don't look too sad. That's there. Just, I don't even see this on the camera. You're probably not noticing it. Just slightly raised there. So, I'm just gonna try and blend that a little bit more. Just rolling the gouge over as I twist into the lathe. That's better. Okay. So, what's going to happen with this pot is we've got to glue this crack up. That's just a bit of sporting, but that's a crack. So I'm going to glue that crack up. And the other thing I now want to know is how wide my top is. Because I want the top to be under 70mm. And I'm just on 70mm at the moment. What's going to happen with this is I'm going to lose that bit. So I'm just going to come in there, back of the bevel, lean my handle in towards the lathe, pick the cut up. Bring this into there. Just adjusting this around because I've got like a flat here, so I want to get rid of that. Just brushing the side of the bevel. I can come the other way, just pick the cut up. That was a bit rough. I'm not worried about its top bit because the plan is that that comes off. There. That's better. More of a shape. So now we've got our torpedo looking shape. That's what I was after. I've got these cracks here that were a problem, so we're going to get rid of them. With a bit of sanding, a bit of super glue, and a bit of sawdust. That is sport in there. Let me do them for time. That's sport in there. So it's just this crack here. And what I'm going to do is just turn the extractor on, bear with. I've got a new remote for my extractor, a broomstick, you see, so I can just lean over and push the button. If I had a 30-foot stick I could do it from here, but I haven't, so that saved me 3 paces. Right, so what we're going to do is put a bit of glue in this crack, there. Might go in with a thicker super glue. You just want to get it into that crack. I might not go with thicker super glue. Oh, I might, yeah. Just going to rub that into there. I'm using it like a filler really. Not too worried about this top bit because I'm going to take that off. I don't want it, this bit sort of waste. But you'll see why I want it in a minute. Gonna keep you guessing. So get the glue in there. Like so. Get my extractor up here like so. Get me 80 grit. Because I'm out 40. Now I'm going to put a face shield on purely because there might be a bit of super glue flying around. I don't want it in the eyes. And I'm going to sand. Oh, don't do that. Sand where the super glue is. There. Turn that up a bit. Still got a bit of a crack in there, and the glue's stuck to me pad, so no expense spared. Get another disc. Now if you had time, what you could do is just fill the crack with an epoxy resin, let it go off. But this is the thing with demonstrating. We have to, I'll put the glue down somewhere safe, and I don't know where I've put it. Right under my nose. So we're demonstrating like this. We've got to sort of ad-lib a little bit. And this works just as well. Just pack that glue in there into that crack. Shield down, speed on, sand away. That's better. Oh. The glue destroys your disc. The sanding, but now I can sand the rest of the pot. Now I've pushed that a bit too hard and heated up the glue that goes on the back of this pad to the steel, so it's flexing around because I was putting too much pressure on it. I'm trying to get the glue into that crack. Now I can't get my fingernail into that crack anymore, so that's full. So now I'm just going to sand. I've got rid of any real horrible marks. So I'm just running up and down this. That was a bit of 120, bit of 180. Now if you use your fingers when you're doing it, you can feel if there's any real horrible bumps anywhere, so the shape's out. And by and large that flows around my fingertips, so I'm quite happy with that. Pardon me, bit of dust in the air. Now, if you're going to do a bit of sanding, always put on a dust mask, because I'm talking, and face shield because of the super glue. Dust masks don't really work, so I'm where I want to be. So let's get me remote control and go and turn the extractor off. The extractor is now off. Hello everybody, we've got a visitor. This is Lucky the terrorist. Yeah, she looks innocent, doesn't she? Hey? She looks innocent. She's a killer. She's armed and dangerous, aren't you? Hey? Armed and dangerous. What? Hey? What? Go on then. Keep out the shavings. So, there is our blank prepared, our bit of canvas. So what's going to happen with this blank, well, you're about to find out. I'm going to leave it in the chuck. Now, at a stage in the future, it's going to get hollowed. It's going to be a vase type thing. But as hollowing's a bit boring, we're not going to hollow it today. And there's another reason we're not going to hollow it today. Is because I want a solid top. Oh, hold on. Right, all I've done is taken the blank off the lathe. I want this solid top, you'll see why in a minute. And I want the curve to flow and tuck down under like this. Okay. This will get hollowed later, and it'll be cut off about there. So I'll get rid of this top bit. So it comes over and stops about there, which I think is a better curve. The reason I've got that into that point there, let's remove the old elbow stabber. I know what will happen. I'm not using the lathe now, and I'll go and stab myself. Elbow stabber out the way. Lock that tailstock off so we don't get a problem. And we're here. So I've got my old board. Drum roll please. And I'll just put some white towel, get rid of that handle out of the way. White towel on here. Why is he putting white towel on there? Well, I'll show you in a minute why I'm putting white towel on here. Because it's about to get messy. What would a Saturday morning be like without it being messy? Watch out, Oliver's about, he's got paint. Stick a bit that way. I'm double plying it because it's about to get very, very messy. There's that camera. Let's bring that up a bit. It's about to get very, very messy. Right. Is everybody happy? Oh, thank you whoever chucked in a £5. Very kind of you. I'll look back and sort that out later. There. That's messy. So, we'll get rid of our pot for a minute. And we're going to get some unicorn spit. You saw this used before. Here's a surprise. We got some little cups, shot glasses. We're going to have a party. Shot glass party. A little ruler here. Ideally you want a translucent cup so you can see through it. Translucent, that was a good word. Oliver's word of the day, translucent. So what I'm going to do is I'm literally putting the ruler inside the cup. You won't be able to see this. And I'm going to measure. God blimey, wonders will never cease. I'm going to mix this 3 to 1. So I've marked off 30 ml and a 10 ml line above that inside the cup. Oh look, you can see the 2 lines. We're going to use this Floetrol stuff. Bit of Floetrol, and I'm going to fill up to the 30 ml line. La 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 la. 30 ml line. Then I'm going to have as a base colour. What are we going to have as a base colour, Ed? I don't know. Let's go with a base colour of pink. Oh, hold on. Is there a trickery bit of cardboard in here? Yeah, or plastic seal. Let's get rid of that. Make the top screwed down. Give it a shake, shake, shake. Do, 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 do. Shake, shake, shake. Do, 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 do. Shake, shake, shake. Right, I'm gaily going along. If anybody's got any questions, I'm looking at the screen far away. And I'll do my best not to answer them properly. And I'm just putting in the pink up to me 40 ml line. Get that to one side. And earlier, there they are. I ate a lot of lollies, so I'll end up with some sticks. So I'm mixing this in. That makes it a slightly lighter colour, but the Floetrol dries out clear, so the colour will come back a bit. So I'll make sure that's mixed in. And that's a little bit thick. It's not too bad, but what we want it to do is run off the stick and just slowly form in the top, not drip off the stick like that. So we need to add just a tad of water. Not a lot. Not a lot. So I'll just give it a shot. Well, we've got the shot glasses. If I stir that into there. This unicorn spit has got essential oil in it. That's why it smells. I think it's jasmine or something. Don't quote me on that. I didn't read up on it beforehand. Ah, my pot's just fallen over. And now it's just a tad thick there. So another little shot of water. There, and now it's rolling off the stick and just sitting on the surface and sinking into the paint. That's roughly where we want it. What you've got to be careful of when you put your pot down, there's something solid that you're putting it on. You don't put it on to fresh air. Otherwise the black and white cat that's sitting on the floor becomes a shocking pink cat with black spots. Now what we want is we're going to mix about 3 to 1, a few colours to mix into this. So I've got a little measuring cup, it's got lines on it. So if I go 20, ish. Somewhere there. It's just a bit under 20 because I'm not going to put 10 of colour in. Need the flow troll there, we're going to need that. And let's have a bit of this one. This is Violet, or in unicorn spit terms, Purple Hill Mystery. Oh yeah, I do like a name, so we'll shake this up. And then we just bring this up to the line. Somewhere about there. I ate a lot of lollies. Who ate all the pies? Oh, pies. Yesterday was a great day. Any of you that from the UK, especially from London, we have a thing called pie mash and liquor. Well, Menzies is a pie mash and liquor shop. There we go, that's mixed in. That's just a little bit thick, so a little bit of water, a couple of drips. Menzies is a pie mash and liquor shop, famous in London, and they deliver. So I put an order in the beginning of the week and bought pie mash and liquor. I didn't buy one, I bought a few because you can freeze it. And last night for my tea, I had pie mash and liquor. I haven't had pie mash and liquor in ages. Oh. And it's quite good because Karen hates it. And it's still a little bit thick. Another little job of water. Oh, be alright, I've got it in the cup, wouldn't it? Karen doesn't eat it, so all the more for me. Pie mash and liquor. Woohoo! That is just a little bit. A little bit more. I'm trying to look at the screen. Is he Mole? Is he doing paint pouring like Tin Tipping did recently? Do we know? We are going to do some paint pouring. I did it on a flat surface about 3-4 weeks ago. But we're just going to do it on a round surface. That's dripping off of there. We'll just give it another little shot of water. Stir that in. There, and it runs off and pulls on the surface. That's about right for that one. Now we're going to go with roughly up to the line. I've lost my lines back there. That's cool. We'll do the same with that one. Back there. Same with that one. About there. Ish. Don't want to leave anybody out. They're fairly even. That's the end of that. So, shake this one up. Bit of teal blue. About there. Bit of dark blue. About there. Yeah. No. What we got? A bit of red would probably go. Bit of red. to about there. Get rid of them. Black and white, get rid of that. Another lolly stick. Stir this one in. Ooh. Now they've got this in glitter as well, so you could put glitter into it if it takes your fancy. Ah, Derek, I've just read your comment there. Yeah, we had Menzies at Walthamstow High Street. They had an eel stall outside, and the eels were worming around, and quite often they'd be on the floor trying to escape. I think a few of them went down the drain. A little bit thick, a little bit more water. Because the oil in here, this stuff fragments on its own, but you can enhance that fragmentation. Another big word, fragmentation. I was reading dictionary last night. That's better, that flows. This one. Was I saying something? I forgot. Never mind. Haggis? What's happening with the haggis? What part of London, Miss T? Well, I was born in Bethnal Green, East London, and brought up in Walthamstow, which was classed as East London. All my family come from the East End of London, so we're East Londoners. I know you wouldn't tell from my accent, because I've now got a Kentish accent. I had haggis for breakfast last Sunday. Like a bit of haggis. Yeah, that's the tad more. We want it to... Should put my glasses on. I've missed the cup about 6 times. That's about it there. Last one, stir this one in. The old till. Bit of water. Anyway, say, would you pass the water, old chap? Of course. There we go. Bit of water. Water. Not water. As my mum used to say to me. Edward, it is water. Not water. A little bit more. Better off adding little bit at a time on the waterfront to get the consistency rather than putting all the water in at once, because you know what they say, you can't take the water out once it's in. There we go, that's drizzling off of there, so we want the paint to drizzle. So what I'm going to do is put a shot of silicone oil. Just cut the drips in the smaller one. I'll put a big shot in the other one. Okay. So now we got our big cup. Stir that silicone into there a bit. And then give this a mix, and we're going to tip a bit of red, get rid of that stick. This is called dirty pour, dirty pouring. We're going to do some dirty pouring. You can see why it's called dirty pouring in a minute, because someone's about to get dirty. Bit of red. Slap the blue in. Just add a bit at a time in sort of layers. Bit of teal. Bit of the mauve. I'm going to put a bit of white in here, just on top. Oh, know what I did? I undid the cap and went to shake it. Bit of white. Might just put in a little bit of black. Just a little bit of black. A little bit of black. A few drizzles of black. Go back to a bit of blue. Or a bit of red. A bit of blue. Don't matter what order really, I don't suppose. Bit of red. Bit of teal. Till we meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. Bit of mauve. Everybody still awake? This is like that program, Art Attack. Bit of white. Bit of red. Bit of blue. Chunk of teal. Bit of mauve. Psychedelic, man. Few dots of white. Few dots of black. I've got it, might as well use it up. So red. Blue. The teal. We meet again. Mauve. That do. Get rid of our little pots. I'm going to wash them out later, honest gov, straight up. Got nowhere to put them. Put my dirty lolly sticks there, that'll save the pots falling over. Get rid of me nice ruler. Straight up, gov. I will wash them out. What do I do with paper towel? Paper towel. Let's finish off with a few dots of white. Couple of dots of black. The lid's up on them. I got me no expense gloves. No expense spared. Never used them before I come out of the packet like this. So they say. Right, there's me gloves. Here's me pot. In me chuck. Move the water out of the way. Get me pot. Now you'll see why I wanted me pot to be that size. There. My top pot fitted over the top. And now what I'm just going to do is slowly release this, moving it around. Oh, that was a bit much in one go. Had to come out sooner or later. Get that to come out. Now what I'm going to try and do is manipulate the paint around the vase. We're getting there, and that way. And there. And what I can do is scoop up a bit of this and give it a helping hand because it's psychedelic. In there. You got this. I'm just trying to manipulate around to cover all the wood. I'm trying to hold it on the camera, see what I'm doing, and manipulate this around all in one. It's not easy. I've got some pink left in there, bit of pink in here. Oop. Get that back that way a bit. That's got it. Down here. And my chuck's got a bit messy, so I've got to clean my chuck as well later. But you can see now the way the paints are blending in and fragmenting. The oils in the paint with the water make it go in little cells. We won't see all the cells. I'll show you the cells later. I'll put a picture up later of the cells because it has to dry a bit. I can put air dryer on it to help it along. But you just have to manipulate it around. I'm just trying to cover all the wood. Nearly. Come on, baby. You can do it. That's that bit covered. I've got... always get a bit that wants to play up. And it's this bit here. That nasty, nasty, nasty piece of wood. Come on, baby. You can do it. Come on. Stretch yourself over that bit of wood. Come on, baby. You see, I've got that little spot just there. Just won't have it. Come on. It's going, it's going, it's going. You see me little spot there? Mind your smock. Nearly. Nearly. Come on. Come on. Paint running where I don't need it to run. And that little bit there is just not filling in. Come on. Right, what we'll do is we'll give it a helping hand. Just dab a bit in there. There. That'll do. Right, so now you can see why we had paper towel. I'm just going to let that run for a while. I'll hold the, what I'll do, lost me paper towel, I've put it somewhere safe. Don't you hate it when that happens? Where's the paper towel gone? Here it is. Right. Bit of paper towel. Get the worst of that off these gloves. There. I know. No expense spared. I'll wear another pair of gloves. This is acrylic based, so it will wipe off of anything you've got it on that you shouldn't get it on, like your tools, your lathe, your chuck, and anything else you can think of. Let's see, right. I'm mumbling. I've just found some more gloves. So I want to try and pick this up, turn it round to the camera so you can see it. These gloves must be a bit old because they've just split on me. But hey, I can live with that. Now you could sort of do it out of the chuck really, but I leave it in the chuck so you can, it stands level. And I've got something to get hold of to manipulate it round. The piece will get hollowed later. So if I come back to our head-on camera, face on, let me come there. Can you, where's the camera? If I get that off of the light, there. Nice. Sort of fragmenting as we're talking, and it's creating cells, what they call cells, and they'll develop as it dries out. You can see some of the cells there with the pinks and the blues. So we leave that to dry. We can speed the process up a little bit with air dryer, Mrs. Oliver's air dryer. But I'm just going to let that dry. He's got paint. Let that dry naturally. Take a couple of days. And then what will happen is the top will get cut off. I'll hollow it out and part it off. So once it's dry. If I was to spin it now, obviously, someone or something would get covered in paint. Thanks very much, Kevin. That's very kind of you. Thank you. So, there is this morning's demo. Yeah, I need a chuck. So, there's this morning demo. It's a dirty pour. Most people do a dirty pour on a flat surface, and I started playing around with dirty pours on holoforms. But to get it, thank you very much, Adrian. Very kind of you. Thanks, Pete. Very kind of you. Thank you. You need the shape to sort of bulge out and come back in with a dirty pour like this, so it flows down the piece, and then this will fragment and do all sorts of stuff. This is something I did as a little test the other day. So you can see I do Mike, thanks very much, Mike. Shouldn't do that. Thank you. Thank you. There's a little test from the other day, and if I bring this up to the camera, can you see the way it's cracked and the colours come out underneath? I used a hairdryer and messed around with it. Thank you, Brian. It's very kind of you. So I mess around with things like this. This is just a test piece. I'll get it back in the chuck. I can turn it away and play with other ideas. So, you know, I'm not just completely barking mad. I do practice at it. So you can play with this stuff. This unicorn spit in wood turning, I think, is going to be... Got some chat coming back. Thank you, Chestnut Products. Nice to see you. Right, hopefully we've got a stream back. Wow, that was bad. We was chatting away. I don't know where we got to. I lost the stream. It seemed like OBS fell over. Hopefully I'm back with you. I've got loads of bits coming in. I can see most of you have gone. Right, if I scan back over this chat, there's too many. I'll have to have a look back later. So if you can hear me, I think you can. I think we've got a stream running again. I hope you've enjoyed it. It got messy. Oh, yeah, you're back. Right, it was OBS. The stream was alright. OBS decided to freeze. I don't know why. Thanks, Terry. Right, everybody that's already said goodbye and thank you, and I've missed, goodbye and thank you, but you're not here to hear me say goodbye and thank you for coming along. So I've missed you. I didn't do it on purpose. Karen didn't come in and push the stop button. It just fell over. That's life, isn't it? I was saying unicorn spit is going to be in the world of wood turning art for people who like to colour things. I think unicorn spit is something that's going to become quite popular because there's so much you can do with it. You can use it as a water stain by just thinning it right down with water because it's concentrate. So you can use the colours for that. But I've been messing around with this dirty pour thing. I'm not the inventor of the dirty pour. The artists have been doing dirty pours for years and years and years and years and years. I just watched it and thought, wow, I quite like that. The effects that you can get. You got to play with the colours a bit to work out what colours you want where, and you know, is that a bit too mauvey with the pinks? I'll see how it dries out. If it's too much, I've wasted a bit of paint. I'm a wood turner. I can just, it's on the chuck. I can turn it off and have another go. I've got a ever-ending canvas until I get down to a matchstick, but that would use less paint, you know. So it's good. Thank you all for coming along. Thanks, Colin, Adrian, anybody I've missed, thank you so much. Thanks for the donations, very kind of you. Thanks for the likes, and I've got 73 of them. If someone could make it up to 80, that'd be fantastic. Just before you go, hit the old like button. One day I might get 100 likes on one demo. That would be something else, wouldn't it? I've got paint everywhere. Thanks, Hans. Thank you. I won't go wear that. Thanks, Simon. Thanks, John. Glad you've enjoyed it. Thanks, Derek. Thanks, Hans. I've got paint all over me watch. Fortunately, it's acrylic. It comes off. I'll clean it off while I'm saying goodbye and thank you. Right. Thanks, Fred. Very colourful. Thank you. Hope to see you colouring one day soon. Get it on there. Splash some paint around. I'll put a link up to Unicorn Spit in a bit. Thanks, Wivey. Glad you've enjoyed yourself. I'm frantically cleaning me watch off. Covered in paint. Not as bad as the vase, but it's covered in paint. Well, I have to go in and wash that. Well, yeah, you shouldn't wear a watch while turning. I don't think it's the turning, Pete. It's the throwing paint around. You shouldn't wear a watch. There's a lot of talk about shouldn't have watches on when you're turning, etc., etc. Your watch shouldn't be over that side of the tool rest. Simple. Your hands stay your side of the tool rest. The tool cutting edge goes over the other side of the tool rest. If you've got your hand over there, your hand's in the wrong place, isn't it? Let's be fair. Thanks, Jennifer. Glad you've enjoyed it. Cheers, Bob. Thanks, Steve. Cheers, Colin. Another Saturday morning's over. Next Saturday we're going to be in October. I'm depressed already. That means winter's here. Cheers, Colin. Thanks for popping by. Winter's here. I wonder if I'll go a whole year without leaving the complex. Looks like it's going to be that way. Give the idiots another, I don't know, couple of weeks, they'll have us all locked down again. Lovely old job. Cheers, Michael. Very kind of you. Cheers, Paul. See you next week. Well, let's hope so. Let's hope we're all still here. Next Saturday, it's Christmas ornamentals. We could make some Christmas decorations if you like. I might save that for Christmas Day. We'll do a live demo on the 25th of December to make Christmas decorations, because it looks like we can't get together with our families. We can be with our immediate family, but we can't be with our extended Christmas families. We might have I've got 3 lays. We might have a family Christmas turning day. We get Mrs. Oliver on a lathe. That'd be funny. Yeah. Joe might get up. He might have a go. You never know. I was up this morning, 4:30, wake up, and got up, went downstairs, made myself a cup of coffee, flicked the news on, watching the news. What happened? Joe walks in, 4:45. Just come home. He wasn't to a pub or a club. There wasn't a pub or a club. A couple of his teaching mates decided they'd get together. So there's 3 or 4 of them. They'll work in the same maths department at school. So they have a games evening because they can't go out anywhere. So they sit round games evening doing whatever. I'm clearing up. You could all put it on your big screens. Instead of watching the Queen's speech, you could watch Oliver's Woodturning Christmas Day. I'd wear a Christmas hat. Mrs. Walt might knit me a Christmas hat, you see. Right, people, been good talking to you. Enjoyed your company. Thanks for stopping by. It's been good fun. We'll let this dry out and we'll post it up so you can see it. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks for stopping by. Good day. Have a good weekend. I can't find the stuff.